Hello, I am Reasonable Rex, the T-Rex you can trust. The spooky season is here, and Halloween is right around the corner. You know what that means. It's time for trick-or-treating, watching scary movies, and getting all dressed up. And on the topics of scary movies, I wanted to revisit and talk about a scary movie that is the absolute worst scary movie of all time. Simply talking about it fills me with so much vitriol that I just... But we'll get there. So, first off, I want to say the director of said movie is one of my favorite directors, that being Sam Raimi. Perhaps you know them for their fantastic take on the Spider-Man movies, where it's a little goofy, but it's got that one scene with Dr. Octopus that's just... yeah, that's horrifying. But I love Sam Raimi's work. No matter what movie, there's usually some visual in there that can invoke horror. I wasn't a big fan of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but watching the Scarlet Witch climb out of a reflective surface like an exorcist demon was pretty terrifying. So what movie could this person that I actually look up to make that I think is so bad? Well, that would be the 2009 movie, Drag Me to Hell. Now, if you're young and haven't seen this movie, good, you're saving yourself from a horrible time. Drag Me to Hell is just about a simple woman who works at a bank and denies a gypsy woman her bank loan, I think. She denies her an extension on her mortgage to this gypsy woman because her boss is ragging on her for spending too much time giving people what they asked for and not making more money in the interest of the bank. And this gypsy woman proceeds to curse her. Can you imagine that? Like, imagine if you're an employee, you're working at McDonald's, you're sitting there, you're making minimum wage an hour, nothing good, you don't have any health insurance, you probably don't have many prospects, you're just trying to get through the day, and some old woman comes up and she's like, "Yes, I would like a Big Mac, please." And you're like, I'm sorry, ma'am. We're actually out of hamburger. Our truck will be here in like an hour or two if you want to wait. But otherwise, nothing I can do. And then she's like, I curse you for your transgression. And Satan himself comes up from hell to back her up like a bouncer. Literally, she goes through this intense fight scene after the bank closes and the main character tries to get in her car and go home. And this old woman assaults her, and it's like a hilarious fight. Like, it is comedy. Like, she gets her teeth knocked out when she wrecks the car. She gets her eyelid stapled to her eye, which sounds horrifying, but the effect is so goofy because it happens, and then she looks up and it like zooms in and it's like, oh, there's a staple in my eye. And then she like thrusts the gear shift into her mouth and she deep throats it or something. Like, it's such an awkward fight just for the woman to get her out of a car, come up to her, and the main character's like, oh god, she's gonna kill me, and she steals a button so that she can curse her. So even though she has her dead to rights and could kill her in that very moment, she decides to curse her because she wouldn't get an extension on her loan. So by stealing this button and doing stereotypical gypsy stuff, I guess, Satan shows up like Jake Doherty's bodyguard to protect her and to reap this woman's soul. And then the whole rest of the movie is her trying to remove this curse through means like killing her kitten and doing a seance and trying to appease the woman's family and returning the button. But at the last minute, her fiance shows up and returns the button to her, and she falls on some train tracks, and then Satan gets her, and the movie is just bad. Like, I cannot get over the fact that this whole thing happened because she couldn't get an extension on her mortgage. Like, you gotta have some suspension of belief when it comes to horror movies. You look at Jason and you gotta remember in the back of your head that he's doing these things because these teenagers are having sex, or they're camp counselors, or they're just bad people, because he has his mother's voice in his head being like, yes, Jason, do it. But like, that's slightly more believable because, it just fits in with like the slasher genre. Why, this just goes out of its way to be ridiculous. So, I know this is a weird video, but I came into the living room and my brother was watching it and it just flooded me with all these cringe memories. So if anything, consider this a public service announcement. This Halloween, do what's right for you. Don't watch Drag Me to Hell. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am Reasonable Rex, the T-Rex you can trust, and I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to my little Halloween rant. Please be safe out there if you're going out trick-or-treating with your kids. You can have fun and be safe at the same time. I recommend a good trunk-or-treat. But enjoy this holiday season, cuddle up with your loved ones, watch some schlocky horror movies, except for Drag Me to Hell, and just have a good festive time. Until next time, bye!